Hey, Momotarou Umi no Shinpei is the first animated feature-length film from Japan, and the only black and white animated feature-length film from Japan because of technological limitations. It was released on April of 1945. The film is loosely based on the Japanese folktale hero Momotaro. You should be familiar with the folktale before watching this film. But I don't want to recount the whole folktale here, so just watch the 10-minute Hajime no Ego version of the folktale here on YouTube. Instead, I want to share my layman's armchair theory on the origin of the folktale itself. So, Mukashi, there's probably 4 seaside villages that gets marauded by pirates from time to time. The chief of one of the villages, the village that was least affected by the pirate raids, decided that it's time to fight back. Let's just call this chief Momotaro. Momotaro provided disaster relief to the other 3 villages, and in return, the villages sent him some men to serve in his campaign. The village that represents the dog handled the production of weapons and armors. The village that represents the seagull handled the reconnaissance and determination of the best time to attack the pirates' port. The seagull is later replaced with the pheasant for the landlubbers, because what even is an umineko? A neko, but from the umi? You're not making any sense. You know what? What I actually meant to say is pheasant. Oh, I see. Okay, but how come you guys both sound the same? And the village that represents the monkey handled the infiltration and breaching of the pirates' port. Momotaro's army succeeded in defeating the pirates, all thanks to Momotaro, as he stands from a safe distance. Momotaro took all the pirates' food, treasures, and enslaved some of them, including the leader of the pirates himself, probably to be tortured during festivals, to boost tourism. I don't know, I'm not familiar with the culture. Anyway, news of Momotaro's accomplishments spread throughout the land by word of mouth, making it a little bit more fantastical with every iteration, with ogres and furries and whatnot. And many years later, the palace released their own version of the story, with Momotaro now being born from a giant peach, which makes him a divine being, just like the royal family. Why? Because it's impossible for mere humans to achieve such greatness. So don't start a rebellion against the royal family, because that will definitely fail, okay? The heavens would not allow such things. And everyone was fine with that. Meditashi, meditashi. And that's my version of Momotaro's origin. Yeah, now that I got that out of my system, let's talk about the film itself, Momotarou Umi no Shinpei. As I said at the start of the video, this film is loosely based on the Japanese folktale hero, Momotaro. It's not a film version of the actual folktale itself. The movie doesn't even follow Momotaro around, as you might expect. Instead, the film has an ensemble cast. But if I'm gonna pick a main character, it's the monkey paratrooper. The first act follows 4 anthropomorphic animal characters: peasant, dog, monkey, and an original character do not steal, bear. They are a bunch of newly trained Navy paratroopers on their way home for their vacation before their first deployment. Peasant immediately started feeding his children when they got home. Bear and his little sister go through their Kintaro figure collection while eating snacks. Enjoy your last days of innocence, Bear. Soon you're gonna kill people. Monkey recounts to the neighborhood kids his fun experiences in the Navy. And Dog, nobody cares about Dog, so his sins got cut. Well, probably rotted away. After all, this film was considered lost for 39 years before a copy was found in a warehouse in Ipuna in 1984. Continuing the first act, Monkey's younger brother, Santa, got swept away by the river because kids are stupid and can easily be programmed for the benefits of the ruling class. Anyway, Monkey and Dog rescue Santa by using their Navy paratrooper class abilities. And the first act ends with Monkey relaxing in the meadows, viewing Mount Fuji, while being surrounded by flying dandelions, which made him reminisce about his paratrooper trainings. Oh, and stupid Santa is there too. You know those other YouTube film review channels where they review films, but in actuality they're summarizing the events of the whole film throughout the runtime of their videos? Yeah, that's a dick move. I don't want my channel to be like that, so let's talk about something more important about the film. Sometime between December of 1941 to January of 1942, around 3.5 years before the release of this film, Momotaro, Monkey, and the rest of the gang, as part of 2 paratrooper companies, transferred to the city of Davao. And from there, they paradrapped to Manado City in January 11 and 12 of 1942 to fight the evil Gumballholic Onis, to fight the evil Onis. So basically, the Battle of Manado. Yeah, if you haven't figured it out yet or you didn't already know prior to clicking this video, Momotarou Umi no Shinpei is a Japanese World War II propaganda film. The first Japanese animated feature-length film is a World War II propaganda film. Yeah, let that sink in. I guess we better talk about the history of Japanese animation now. So, before World War II, from 1917 to 1938, Japan made 172 animated short films. These are mostly Japanese folktale short films. During World War II, from 1939 to 1945, they made 26 more animated short films. These, however, are mostly World War II propaganda short films. And a lot of these propaganda short films features Momotaro. And including the full-length film, Momotarou Umi no Shinpei, will get a total of 199 films. Most of these, by the way, are lost films, and not really good, especially the World War II propaganda ones. But if you're in the mood for these black and white short films, the National Film Archives of Japan recommends 64 titles available to watch for free on their website, animation.filmarchives.jp. Go check them all out, or at least the 26 Japanese folktales. The archive even has 11 propaganda films in its collection, if you're interested. Now for comparison, before World War II, the US produced the full-length colored animated film Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And during World War II, they produced 6 more full-length colored animated films. They also produced a lot of World War II propaganda animated short films, with Donald Duck being the de facto World War II mascot of the US, akin to Momotaro for Japan. Which kind of makes me wish that Donald Duck from Kingdom Hearts and Momotaro from Momotaro Dentetsu gets in Smash Bros. Anyway, at the center of the budding industry of Japanese animation are the pioneers. And the most relevant Japanese animation pioneer to our topic is the animator Mitsuyo Seo. An apprentice of Kenzo Masaoka, Mitsuyo Seo's directorial debut took off in 1934 with the short film Osaru no Sankichi Totsugeki Tai. My list shows that Mitsuyo directed 12 films. If you're interested, 4 are available on animation.filmarchives.jp and 4 can be found on YouTube. Now I've seen all of the animated short films in animation.filmarchives.jp, and I'm gonna say that Mitsuyo's works are the most Disney-esque. Which is probably why he's the one that the Japanese Navy commissioned to produce Momotarou Umi no Shinpei. Now, is that a good thing for Mitsuyo Seo? I don't know. I can't find a documentary about him on the internet. So I have very little information about Mitsuyo's personal life, and I suspect that some of these are exaggerated. I've read somewhere that he opposed the Japanese war effort, so he was arrested and tortured in the early years of the Second World War. Which means working with the Navy might not be a good thing for him. But I also read somewhere that he supported the Japanese war effort so much that he was shunned by the animation industry after World War II. Which is why his last film, Osama no Shippo, did not receive a wide-scale release, leading to his bankruptcy. He ultimately left the animation industry and just became a children's book illustrator. He's probably a cool guy. I don't know. Momotarou Umi no Shinpei successfully indoctrinated the Japanese working classes youth when it premiered in April of 1945. Now, if the Japanese Navy was aiming for another entry to the Momotaro franchise, it's probably just gonna be about defending the homeland from invading Onis. Because in April of 1945, the Japanese Navy only had 6 battle-damaged aircraft carriers still afloat out of the 25 that they built for the war effort. These are the Amagi, Junyo, Hosho, Ryuho, Kayo, and Katsuragi. And aircraft carriers are the meta in naval warfare during World War II, which means the Japanese Navy is in really bad shape. Without support from aircraft carriers, all they can really do at that time was futilely defend their positions against the encroaching Allied forces. And in July 6 of 1945, just 3 months after the release of the film, the Enola Gay arrived at Tinian. Are you still with me? Oh, right. How to enjoy Momotarou Umi no Shinpei? Well, if you're in the mood for deep Japanese black and white animated feature-length film, yeah, go for it. And don't worry about it being a World War II propaganda film. As long as you know what it truly is, it can't brainwash you. I hope. But just to be sure, here's a short presentation on how not to become a pawn of the visible and invisible powerful people in society. But this is not a politics channel, so let's not talk about that. And remember to watch this film only after you've watched the animated short film Momotarou no Umiwashi, because Momotarou Umi no Shinpei is the sequel to Momotarou no Umiwashi. Oh yeah, I completely forgot about this one. Okay, so before Momotarou Umi no Shinpei, the Japanese Navy first commissioned Mitsuyo Seo to produce Momotarou no Umiwashi. Released in March of 1943, 2 years before Momotarou Umi no Shinpei, the animated short film is about the mission of Momotaro and his animal friends to defeat the Onis with the use of aircraft carriers. Specifically the Akagi, Kaga, Suryu, Hiryu, Shokaku, and Zuikaku. The film this time features rabbits as the original character do not steal. The main rabbit is a crew member of one of the aircraft carriers, while the main monkey, dog, and peasant crew one of the planes. Under Momotaro's command, Monkey and friends, as part of a 6-squadron strike force, attacked the naval and airbase of the evil alcoholic Americans. I mean Onis. They attacked the naval and airbase of the evil Onis. You know, December 7, 1941, Pearl Harbor. Yeah, so watch the short film first. Now, for the gamers that are watching, no, there's no Mitsuyo Seo's Momotaro real-time strategy video game out there, where your units are always cute antros while your enemy units are always Onis, whatever side you are. No. And I'm sad to say that there's no good Momotaro folktale action video game out there either. There is the Momotaro Densetsu series and its spin-off series Momotaro Dentetsu. But the former are turn-based RPGs while the latter are train team dice-based board games. But don't be sad, I plan to add a Momotaro themed campaign to my top-down action video game in the future. Now I know my game looks like this at the moment, but trust me bro, it's gonna be awesome just like your favorite anime. I mean, just look at the concept art I made. Yeah. And on a side note, notice that throughout this video, I didn't call any of these anime. Well, because they're not. I'm 100% sure that they're not. These are all just cartoons, black and white cartoons that happens to be from Japan. Because anime is, well, that's a story for another episode. So subscribe so that you don't miss that episode when it goes up. Or just read the comment section because someone will probably spoil it there. Now, it's still possible that a few of you might think, what's an anime? Anime is a form of entertainment given to us by ancient aliens in Japan, according to my cryptic dreams. To finish up, I'm gonna rank Momotarou Umi no Shinpei above, below. Yeah, this is the first animation in this channel. Ha, I'm so stupid, why am I still alive? And this video is part of my 12 anime of 1980 series, even though it's not really anime. Why 12? Why 1980? I'll explain in a later episode. Wow, deja vu. And I guess that's it. Please like this video. I have this need to be liked. Also, you can share this video with your friends if you think they'll like it. Thanks, bye.